Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, TNA Genesis preview. So we're going to preview what I think is going to happen tomorrow night at TNA Genesis. And then once the show's over with, I'll get it watched and we'll go ahead and do a review as well. Kind of see how accurate I was and see, because some of these matches can go either way. This is just going to be what I think is going to happen. And then we'll see how accurate or inaccurate I am. And we're going to enjoy the show. And we'll review it and talk about it later. Alright, first match, we have an intergender match. We have Sade versus Ryan Nemeth. For the last month, Ryan has been trying to hit on her, kind of mess with her. She keeps just random super kicks. The TNA's Impact, Thursday Night Impact on AMC. He ended up going over there, kind of bothering her again. She super kicked him, and then they made the match. One thing you don't see in some of the top wrestling companies is intergender matches. You don't see a lot of those in TNA, WWE, NXT, AEW, New Japan. But we're going to see it here. I think it's going to be kind of a one-sided match. I think it's going to be more just her super kicking him and then 1, 2, 3 kind of deal. Then one thing that we don't have on this card, we do not have an X Division title match. Leon Slater, the TNA X Division champion, the youngest ever, won the title back in July. He was put over by the phenomenal AJ Styles. He's had 6 title defenses in 181 days. On 8-5 at Emergence, 9-26 at Victory Road, 10-12 at Bound for Glory, 10-21 at NXT, 11-14 at Turning Point, and then 12-5 at Final Resolution. His last TNA match was on 12-6. It was a 6-man tag that aired on tape delay for Impact. He's been over in Europe doing stuff for WWE. So we don't get an X Division title match. We did not see him on the premiere episode on AMC. They talked about the X Division title being the title what TNA is known for. When you want that guy, your X Division champion on there? No, we don't get him in pay-per-view either. But hey, it's been 43 days since he's defended the title. One time in pro wrestling, there was this 30-day rule that you had to actually defend the title every 30 days, or you would be stripped of it. When is TNA going to strip him of the title and him go off WWE like apparently he wants to, or they want him to, or something? Oh, that's right. TNA got AJ to be on Impact because they let Leon Slater go play. I guess he had a match for the U.S. title on SmackDown tonight. Haven't watched it yet, but I saw it online. Cool. Yeah, I think if you're TNA, you're going to want your champions on your first pay-per-view after your new TV deal, but apparently not. But instead, we get Cedric Alexander, who is the #1 contender for the X title, and Santana Marella told him on Thursday that he'll get his title shot whenever Leon Slater decides to come back to TNA. Don't get me wrong, I am a Leon Slater fan. I watched the match in Rev Pro with him and Michael Oku. That's 4.5 star. Easy could have been 5 star. Depends on how you want to look at it. So yeah, this dude is hella talented. I wish he was on the card. But we get Cedric Alexander versus Moose versus WWE's Joe Hendry. We get that match set up next division match between Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater. I believe the Joe Hendry is probably going to win that match. Next up, we have AJ Francis versus Rich Swann. Now, these guys were teammates in First Class, but Rich Swann ended up with the next division title match. Had a great match against Leon Slater. After the match, Rich Swann, we all know what kind of wrestler Rich Swann is. Paid respect to Leon Slater. Shook his hand. Of course, that didn't sit well with AJ Francis. AJ Francis demanded an X Division title shot. Was able to get it. During that X Division title shot AJ Francis got, Rich Swann hit AJ Francis with the belt to help Leon Slater retain his title, which led to, obviously, issues between the two. AJ Francis laid his ass out, and then this match was made. I actually think Rich Swann will win this. I think they're going to want the face to kind of go over here, and getting Rich Swann back to the face instead of the heel with First Class. Unless Casey Navarro gets involved a bunch, I see Rich Swann winning this. Next up, we have the TNA World Tag Titles on the line. We have champion the Hardys taking on the Righteous, Vincent and Dutch. Hardys have been tag team champions in TNA for 179 plus days. What's kind of ironic is their last title reign was 183 days. That was the longest since 2021 in TNA. This is their fourth title reign in TNA. They're 53 days, 152, 83, and now 179. So they're kind of right around that 170, 179, 180 mark, a little over, a little less. I actually think the Righteous win this. I think they're going to put the tag titles on the Righteous. I see the Hardys boys showing up on WrestleMania just like they did a few years ago when they left Ring of Honor. Because if you remember back then, what year was that? 2019, 2020? So it could have been 2020. 2018 or 19? I think I was at 18. So 2019, I think it was. When they held the Ring of Honor titles, lost them on the pay-per-view on Friday night, and then showed up on WrestleMania and won the WWE tag titles. I actually see them doing that this year, being on WrestleMania for a part of WWE. So I have the Righteous here winning the tag titles from the Hardys. Next up, we have the TNA Knockout title line. We have champion Ying taking on Zaria from NXT. It was, I don't know where Tessa Blanchard is, but it was one of those things where it was like a freaking open challenge, and then Zaria and Ruca were backstage. They come out. They were scouting the tag team match for Tuesday night on CW for NXT, and then Roku was just really just talking, and she's like, Zaria, you can do it, and so she kind of pushed Zaria into it, which, okay, I'm good with that. Zaria versus Ying Lee, that'd be kind of cool. Now, Ying Lee has had the title 59 days. That's actually the longest title run since Masha Slamovich did 267 and Jordan Grace 287. So I don't see her losing the title, and I don't see them putting it back on an NXT wrestler. So I think she'll retain. But I also see Ruca and Zaria starting to get a little friction, just a little bit of friction. I see that friction kind of building, and eventually we'll get a one-on-one with those two. But I got Ying Lee retaining her TNA Knockouts Women's title. Next up, we have the TNA World title, because the main event is going to be the retirement match of JDC. So we have the TNA World Heavyweight title on the line in a Texas Death Match. We'll see if it's a true Texas Death Match or a generic version. I think it's going to be team version, but hey. But we have special referee Nick Nemeth. Now remember, Nick Nemeth has the Call Your Shot gauntlet, because this year there were two winners because there was a tie or something. I don't remember how they ended up doing it. Frankie Kazarian was here to cash it in and won the title. Nick Nemeth has the other one. They talk about it every once in a while, but remember, he still has it. He's the special referee in this Texas Death Match. Mike Santana beat Frankie Kazarian on Thursday night on AMC for the title, which was a great send-off. A great way to end that show, because that show was just trash up until that point. And so I got looking, I'm like, nah, they're not going to take the title off Mike Santana that quick. 2021, Josh Alexander won the title. Moose did the Call Your Shot and cashed in the Call Your Shot gauntlet match. In 2018, Pentagon Jr. held the title for 2 days and lost it. He won it on a Thursday Impact, lost it on the weekend. So, I see Mike Santana retaining his title, then Nick Nemeth cashing in his Call Your Shot match, your Call Your Shot gauntlet, and walking out as your TNA World Heavyweight Champion. That's how I think that's going to happen. I think Ryan Nemeth's going to get involved. I think Santana and Kazarian is going to beat the holy living tar out of one another against a Texas Death Match. And Santana's going to get the victory, and then you're going to have Nick Nemeth cash in, Call Your Shot, and leave as champion. And then we come to the main event, which is JDC, Dirty Fandango, and WWE, his retirement match. Now, once this match happens, the four big companies, AEW, WWE, New Japan, TNA, will all have the big retirement match for a wrestler. Obviously, last year was Sting. Him and Darby was tag team champions. Sting won the match, retired as champion. They vacated the titles. We had John Cena in WWE face Gunther. Gunther just annihilated him. Made John Cena tap. John Cena never tapped out in 20 years. Then we had the Kazuchika Okada Hiroshi Tanahashi match at Wrestle Kingdom. Tanahashi's retirement match. They had Okada go over, which actually made... Once I thought about it, after it happened, I'm like, oh wait. If Tanahashi would have won that, it would have been 2-2 on their feud. So you kind of wanted you didn't want that tie at Wrestle Kingdom. So Okada went up 3-1. But Lord, you have Okada win. He got out of there. You had everyone come out and give their flyers to Tanahashi. Great send-off. And then we come to JDC and Eddie Edwards. Now, when it comes to name recognition, JDC's not there. When it comes to in-ring ability, Eddie Edwards is one of the best out there. Woo! Wolves. So yeah, I think this match could be good. I think this match could actually match quality-wise, surpass Walter and John Cena. It ain't touching Okada and Tanahashi. Don't even think this is going to be a 5-star match. By no means. And Sting got hardcore toward the end of his career. This is not going to be that way. I think this is going to be a pure wrestling match in the ring. I would put JDC as kind of not a mid-card guy, but not the elite guy, kind of above the mid-card, below the elite. And then Eddie Edwards, one of the best out there. So I think this match could be damn good if they give it time. If they give it the way they need to, 15, 20 minutes, let JDC go over. I actually think, based on precedent, Eddie Edwards wins this. But I think you're going to get JDC over. You're going to get the retirement part over. They already announced that on TNA next week, which will be taped on Sunday. I'm sorry, a lot of you people that think TNA is the number 2 company. When the number 1 company is WWE. And, okay, TNA is your number 2 company, but yet your number 3 company runs all live shows. At least one live show a week. TNA is not number 2, they're number 3. But anyway, that's going to be taped tomorrow. Or taped on Sunday. JDC is going to announce the newest member of the system. Don't know who that's going to be. Part of me thinks they're going to pull a wool over everyone's eyes, and it's going to be Fandango, which is literally JDC, which is literally Dirty Tango. I could see them doing that. And so JDC had a retirement match, but Fandango didn't. But we'll see what happens on that. But I think Eddie Edwards goes over here. I think it's going to be a good match. Overall, match quality of this show should be pretty good. Eddie Edwards, JDC, I think that's going to be 3.5 to 4 star, give or take. Nick Nemeth being the referee for the Texas Death Match, and Mike Santana and Frankie Kazarian. When I watch this match, again, I watch AW, I watch GCW, I watch other stuff as well. I watch deathmatch wrestling. I actually like that genre of wrestling now. I gotta watch this match, and this is how I will do it, and I'll talk about this in the review. I will watch it based on TNA. I don't expect to see a lot of blood. I expect to see a little bit of barbed wire, maybe some doors, some chairs, some tables, maybe a few little like cheese grater kind of stuff. I don't expect gusset plates. I don't expect glass, and I don't expect staplers. I don't expect that kind of stuff. I think they're going to fight off into the crowd a little bit. You're going to have some big table spots. I can't remember the arena they're in, if there's any like balcony they can jump off of or something. But I can see some big table spots, maybe stack a couple tables up, maybe a ladder getting involved. Baseball bat, maybe. Kendo stick, possibly, probably a kendo stick or two. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be hardcore, but the whole Texas Death Match, we'll see what happens. You ain't going to have Chainsaw Charlie show up with a chainsaw. I mean, it's just saying you're not going to have that. Cactus Jack's is not coming up, showing up either, so. But again, so things are going to be a little bit of blood, but it's not going to be just, not AEW level of blood, definitely, but it's going to be just a little bit to make it more realistic, I think. You almost have to, but I got Santana winning the actual match, and then Nick Nemeth cashing in his Call Your Shot gauntlet. I got Lin Lee retaining her knockout title. I got the Righteous beating the Hardys for the tag titles. Red Swann, AJ Francis. It can go either way, but I got Red Swann winning. I got Hendry winning the triple threat match, and then Sade beating Ryan Nemeth. So that is the TNA Genesis preview. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show. We'll review it once we get it all watched and everything kind of buttoned up this weekend. Got a couple of GCW shows as well. So could be Monday, Tuesday before the review gets up. So as always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports show content.